Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. Who is that big T? Oh, namaste, Harish. Namaste, Erika. Kripananda. Namaste, Matthew and Palabi. Oh,
Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste,
very.
Swamiji.
We are almost recovering.
Namaste, Guru Swamiji.
Namaste. Shiva Ratri was amazing, and we exhausted. We've been sleeping and chanting minimally. What is all of these guys? You can see our Shiva right behind me. And, you know, while we have a few minutes, let me show you around. There's Mahakali and Durga and Saraswati. And there is Shiva and Parvati. This is, oh my goodness, I can't turn around from the asan. Well, and here we have Ramakrishna and Swami Samart. There we have our on the bank of the river. And the old, there's a Hawan Kund out there. And so this is what the temple became. And across the way, you can see we've got some rooms over there, and there's a kitchen, and there's food for everybody. So it's really neat out here. It's kind of silent, very quiet, if everybody would stop talking. But otherwise, it's really fun. So we're going to start building our asan pretty soon. And see if we can't chant for a longer period of time. Let's see how this will work. Let's go. No, that won't do it. That won't do it. Now let's see if that will do it. That won't do it either. Well, let's try going. No, that won't work. What you see is what you get.
We can
Sorry.
see you, Swamiji. And
Can you hear me?
yes,
Can you see me?
yes, Swamiji. We can see the Shiva and Hanuman too.
Oh, good. Well, there's another Shiva over here. That was the Shiva from Mama's room. Let's see if he wants to see me. You can see him. And then there's Ganesh.
Yes.
They all moved inside. Everybody came in from the outdoors. They said the sun was too bright. So they didn't like to stay outside. And so we built them an inside. And now we'll try to organize this a little bit better. Well, Shiva's kind of got his head cut off. I wonder if we can make him taller. No, that didn't do it.
Are you using the new stand?
No. Do we have a new stand? Well, I haven't seen it yet. So maybe when yeah, that's pretty good. But now Chandra knows how to do these things. But she didn't, she's going to stand there and hold it all this time. That's about where I was, except you got a little more of my neck. I can go like that. Well, we were talking really deep philosophy. And we're at the bottom of page 99 on verse number 20. And I think this is chapter 4. And you remember, Himalayas asks the question, what kind of a dad should I be if I'm going to give birth to the Divine Mother and she's going to take birth in my house? What kind of a house should I have? What kind of a dad should I be? What sadhana should I do? What can I do to prepare a lifestyle for you so that you can fulfill all the purposes for which you're taking birth? I mean, you've chosen me for a reason, and I believe it's my duty as a parent to empower my children to do the best things they can possibly do. I want to do everything I can to prepare it. And so the Devi started telling him all about the infinite universal consciousness and the unchanging wisdom. And in verse number 20, she says, Yanasya Jadasheshatwam, Nadrishtanachasambabi. The ultimate unchanging character of wisdom cannot be perceived. In my truest aspect, in my truest nature, I am Satchit Ananda. I am indistinguishable from Shiva. Shiva and I are not two. Shiv and Shiva are one. And that is Purush, infinite consciousness, and Prakriti, the capacity of consciousness to manifest in individual forms. So the ultimate unchanging character of wisdom cannot be perceived, nor does it evolve. It doesn't become. It is. It is eternal. Chit, consciousness, is the ideal of perfection. Chaitanya, chit, chidadmatvam tatan asti, chinas chinad, he vidyate. This consciousness is the Dharma. This consciousness is the ideal of perfection. And if the consciousness does not exist, then how can it be known? It's a logical fallacy. Teach me logic. Now remember, we have 7 schools of classic philosophy. And actually, I believe they are 7 branches of one philosophy, which is the roadmap to divinity. And it starts with Charbak. And Charbak says, hey, everything you have nothing in your mind that didn't come through the senses. And the next step of philosophy is Nyaya. Oh, wait a minute. I make logical deductions and inductions and conclusions, and I apply logic to all the perceptions that I've had through my senses. So it's not just sensory perception, but also what I think about it. And the next step, number 3, is Vaisheshik. And Vaisheshik says, hey, but everything that you can deduce is material. You can't make a syllogism regarding a logical explanation about the metaphysical. You have no proof. It's a hypothesis. It's not a foregone conclusion. So we have Charbak, Nyaya, Vaisheshik. And Shankya comes and says, wait, there must be an instrumental cause as well as an efficient cause. There must be, in addition to a material cause, we need an efficient cause and an instrumental cause. We need a Purush in order to have Prakriti. You can't have nature without consciousness. You can't have Prakriti without Purush. You cannot have Shakti without Shiva. And the next step of philosophy is yoga. The goal of all philosophy is to put the two together. The goal of all sadhana, All the work that we're doing is taking us from the sensory perception to the logical explanation to the spiritual understanding to the practical application of putting Purush and Prakriti together. And now, how do we do that? After yoga philosophy comes Purvamimamsa, which is Siddhantachara. We follow the example of the rishis. We study the scriptures. We read the lives of the rishis and find out what do they do in order to become rishis. We'll do the same thing and become just like them. And ultimately, Uttarivangsha means Vedanta, the highest, the apex, the ultimate of wisdom. So here we have 7 schools of philosophy, 7 steps on the path from Bhuvaswa Mahajanahatama Satyam Om. This is the path of philosophy. And now he's saying, therefore, the soul is the form of wisdom. Tumar Atma, the Gyan Swarup. Tasmat Atma Gyan Rupaha. Shuka Rupascha Sarvada. Tasmat Atma Gyan Rupa. Therefore, Tasmat, the soul, Atma Gyan Rupa, the form of wisdom. Your soul, our soul, the one soul, the Atma and the Paramatma are one. Our soul is the form of wisdom and always the form of happiness. Sukharupascha sarvada, always sarvada, the sukh, the happiness or gladness or comfortable, rupascha, and the form of happiness, satyam purna upasargascha. It is truth, satya, purna, always full, apsya sangascha, unattached, asanga. Unattached, it has no community. And Dvaita Jala Vivarjita, Dvaita, it is devoid of duality. All duality, Dvaita Jala, the craziness of duality, the conflicts of duality, vivarjita, they're prohibited, nished, excluded. Sapuna karma de yuktaya sviya maya purvanu buddha sankaskarat kalakarma vipakata. Again, sapuna. Again, when united with desires and karmas, actions, karma, karmadi, etc., karma and karmadi, etc., various actions and desires, kama and karma, yukta, were united with, etc., it creates swiya maya, yukta, it makes it born of action, then it makes its own maya. Purva anu bhuta sanskarat kala karma vipakata. It gets paka. It becomes ripe. It becomes pure. Pakistan is the place of the pure, or the place of the ripe. They're all ripe in Pakistan, ripening because of karma and karma, time and activity. So according to these previous samskaras, these tendencies, tendencies of the soul to act in a certain behavior, we have a samskar, And this is something that attaches to the soul, that makes the soul evolve in a certain direction, move in a certain way. And because of these previous sanskaras, it creates its own Maya. Abhiveka cha tatvasya Sri Shaban Pajayate Abudi Purva Sangoyam Katitaste Nagadipa. Oh, great mountain Nagadipa. Naga Adip. You are the great mountain, or the foremost of mountains, or the king of mountains. Avivek, with a lack of discrimination. Vivek means discrimination, or vivek, well, because of a lack of discrimination, tattvasya, of the various principles, the principles of existence becoming mixed together. They're no longer separate. So we have Shiti Aptage Moru Bom. We have earth, water, fire, air, and ether. And these are separate. And now, because we're not discriminating, they're all together. And that becomes the Panchakritya process, mixing the 5 elements together to make creation comes forth. Sri Shaban. See Shaban. Pajayate, it comes forth. Abhudir Purva Sargotyam. Oh, great mountain. It is said that all beings take birth because of a previous deficiency of buddhi, intelligence. So if we were intelligent, who would want to come back here to manifested existence? Obviously, we've got some karma to do, and we're not completely intelligent, we're a little bit dumb to want to come back into a human body, except for a few people like Shrima, who chose to come back into a body in order to help all of us silly people down here on earth. So because of a previous deficiency of intelligence, Abhuti Purva in the past, Sargo Oyang, we take birth, Kati to stay, it is said, O great mountain. Etade Yanmaya Proktam, Mama Rupam Alokikam, Avyakritam Tavavyaktam. Maya Shabalamidyape. I have spoken to you of the knowledge of my universal form. Alokik. Alokik means beyond all the lokas. My universal form. Marupa. Alokik. Mama, my, Proktan, I have spoken, Yan Maya, of my, Tad Vidi, and I have of this, in this way, Avyakrita. It is known as Avyakrita, unmodified. It is known as the Avyaktam, unmanifest. It is known as Maya Shabala, the force or the power of Maya, and various other names according to the various philosophies in which we are describing it. In each philosophy, it has a different name. And all of these terms change their names according to the philosophy that we're talking about. So if we're talking about Shankya philosophy, the term Maya means the veil which obscures the reality. It means, Maya means that it's untruth. It means you can't see the truth because of the Maya. It is a purda. It is a veil of consciousness. So it is osat. In Tantra philosophy, Maya is the measurement of existence. Mat measure. Maya is the divine mother who is all existence. According to Vedanta, Maya is the one, infinite, consciousness and nature undivided, indivisible, in union with its own self. Now, these various terms, avyakrita, avyakta, Maya Shabala, these are various ways to describe Maya and various other names according to the various philosophies that we're going to speak about. And the marvelous aspect of Devi Gita, it is an anthology. It is a collection of all the different philosophies and explains all the definitions according to their own philosophies. And it leads us to the unity of all philosophy, which is the path to realization. It doesn't say, okay, now we're going to talk about Sankhya philosophy, and the purpose of life is to discriminate between my transient prakriti and all the changes and modifications of the nature and my eternal purush, which is my infinite consciousness. And we're not talking about that. That's one stage in the philosophy of unity. The goal is to realize the Shiva within. And all of these philosophies and all of these definitions are steps in the path that take us to that realization. So in this, all the scriptures it is said to be the cause of all causes. Prochate sarva sastreshu, in all the sarva, all the shastras, the scriptures, prochate, it is said to be sarva karan, all the causes, or the cause of sarva karana, karanam, of the cause of all causes, tatva namadi bhutam cha, the principle, the tatva, which precedes all existence, and Satchitananda Vigraha. Satchit Ananda Vigraha, the repository of Sat Chit Ananda, true existence, consciousness, and bliss. And it is before, it precedes, it is the cause of all causes, this Maya, this mother of ours. She is the cause of all causes. And she is the repository of Satchitananda. And if you want to see Shiva without Shakti, good luck. You can't. She is the definition of Shiva. Shiva is the expression of Shakti. Shiva is the consciousness of Shakti. Without consciousness and nature, we are in sunyata. Or in the Buddhists, they call it nirvana. There is nothing. Sarva karmaga nibhutam ichagyana kriyashrayam rinkara mantra vachantad adi tatwang taduchyate, where all the actions of all existence are united. Sarva karma ganibhut, all existence. Icha, Jnana, Kriyasrayam, where Icha Shakti, the energy of desire, Jnana Shakti, the energy of wisdom or intelligence, and Kriya Shakti, the energy of all action, all take refuge. Ringkara Mantra Vachyam, the energy of all action, all take refuge. That is called as the mantra Hrim, the primary or foremost principle. Tad Adi Tatwam, that is the primary or the foremost tattva, the principle. Taduchete, it is said to be. That is called as the mantra Hrim. You'll have to excuse me 1 minute. I want to check and see if the person who Stop it. Excuse me. Restarted the they're all pictures.
We can see you, Swamiji.
Hello.
We can hear you. Gemma, Swamiji, we can see you, but we can't hear you.
Okay.
Yes, Swamiji.
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you, Swamiji.
Good. And there we go. Namaste. Om Saraswati Namaha. Please excuse me. Our technology, this is our first day, so we're just getting in business. Where all the actions of existence are united, where Icha, Jnana, and Kriya Shakti all take refuge, that is called as the mantra Hrim, the primary or foremost principle. Tasmadakasha utpana shabda tanmatra rupaka babet sparshatmako bayus tejo rupatmakang puna. From this foremost principle, tasmat, from akasha, emanates akash, the ether. Utpana, it comes forth. It's brought forth. Having the subtle property in the form of sound. Shabda tanmatra. The tanmatra is the subtle property. Rupa. Rupak is the form of the subtle body of sound. That's the ether. And then Bhavet Sparshatmako Vayus. Then comes forth Vayu, the air, with the subtle property in the form of touch. Sparshat. It touches you. Sparshatmaka. Sparshatmako Vayus. Tejo Rupatmakang Punaha. And then comes fire. So first comes the akash with the property of sound, and then comes the air, vayu, with the property of touch, and then comes the fire with the subtle property of form. You can see a fire. You can't see the air. You can't see the ether. It doesn't have form. Jalang rasatmakam paschat. Tato gandatmakadara. Then comes water. Jalan rasat makang. We're having the subtle property of rasa, taste. And lastly comes earth, having the subtle property of smell. Tato gandat makadara. Earth supports the property of smell. Air, Shabda Ekaguna Akasho Vayu. Sabda has the only quality of ether. Sound is the only quality of ether. Shabda Ekaguna Akasho. The sound is the only quality of ether. Vayu Sparsha Rabandita. Air possesses two qualities of sound and touch. Sabda sparsha rupa gunang. Teja ituchate bude. Fire has the three qualities of sound, touch, and form. Sabda sparsha rupa guna. Teja ichate bude. Which have been declared by the wise. Sabda sparsha rupa raser. Apo Veda Guna Smrita. The Vedas, Veda Guna, remember the four qualities of water as sound, you can hear it. As sound, as touch, you can feel it. As form, you can see it. And as taste, you can taste it. And Sabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa. Gandhe Pancha Gunadara. Earth has the five qualities of sound, touch, form, taste, and smell. These five original elements, earth, water, fire, air, and ether. Kshiti, Ap, Tej, Morud, Boom. These five original elements give rise to the sutra, or the string, or the thread of existence, which is known as the linga deha, or the subtle body. Now we've got these five elements, which give forth 5 tanmatras. And these tanmatras give forth these they create this linga deha, or the subtle body, this sukshma sharir. Sarvatmakam tat samproktam. Sukshma dehot yamatmanaha. The universal soul, the yam atmanaha, contains all individual souls. The subtle body expresses this supreme consciousness, and the individual causal body has been in this union since the beginning of time. So now if you look at the universal causal body as one, Shiva Shakti, and it has been present, omnipresent, since the beginning of time. It is Chirasthai. And now all the individual souls, Vyakti Atma, all the Atmas are parts of this whole, the Paramatma. And that is called the causal body. Avyaktang, it's undivided, indivisible. Karano Deha, this Karan Sarir, the causal body. Sa Endid Choktam, Chauktam, it is existence in union since the beginning of time. Yasmin Jagat Bija Rupam, from thence, Yasmin, the form of the seed of perceivable existence, Jagat Bija Rupam, the form, the Rupam of the Bija, of the Jagat, the perceivable universe, Stitang, is situated within Lingod Babu Yatha. In the subtle body issues forth. Babod Baba, Babod Yataham, Tatahastulani Bhutani, then Yatah Tatah Stulani, comes forth the gross elements. Bhutani, by means of the various combinations of the 5 original elements in the process called Panchikaran, or also known as Panchakritya. So this Panchikaran or Panchakritya are the same. Panchikaran, Margataka, this is the process of combining all these elements in the Kshiti Aptage Boom into the gross body, into perceivable existence. And there's a great mathematical formula for this Panchakritya process: earth, air, earth, water, fire, air, and ether. You cut each element in half, and you put the half aside. Then you take 1/4 of each of the remaining elements. So you take 1/4 of earth, and 1/4 of water, and 1/4 of fire, and 1/4 of air, and you add it to the half of ether, and that is the element of the Panchakritya. All the elements are combined, and they're mixed together, and you cannot separate them, and they become the Sthula Sarir. That is matter. In fact, that is the matter. That's the matter with the matter. And for most of us, it doesn't matter. But if you want to know where all of this came from, it came from the mixture of these 5 elements. And the earth, water, fire, air, and ether are no longer pure elements separated. They are avyakta. They are no longer vyakti. They are no longer individual elements. They are the Sthula Sarir. Panchasankyani jayante. Prakarasta tochate. Provoktani chabutani. Pradyeka vijaytida. The process of evolving the 5 gross elements is now being discussed. Each of the 5 original elements is divided into 2 parts. All philosophers never die, they only lose their balance. So you cut each of the 5 elements into 2 parts, and you put one part apart. Prabhuktani, Chabutani, pratyekam vidvajed. So then you put aside one of the elements, and the original 5 elements are divided into 2 parts. Ekam bhagamekasya chaturda vibhaje dire. One part of each is to be set aside. Ekam bhag, one part of each. Ekasya chaturda vibhaje dire. The other part, which is divided again into 4 parts. We just described this. Let's do it again according to scripture. Shwashwetarabhiti tamche yojanat panchate. And then the 4th part of each is then united with the half of the 4 other elements different from it. And thus each gross element is formed. When it becomes in the stula sarir, in the perceivable body, it consists of 1/2 of its original element and 1/4 each of the remaining 4 elements. And that is called Panchakritya or Panchikaran. And that is why the world as existence, as we see it, is called Prapanch, which is composed of the 5 elements. And now, swasvetari dityangshe yojanat panchate. The 4th part of each is then united with the half of the 4 other elements different from it, and thus each gross element is formed. Tatkayancha viradeka stula dehotyamatmanaha panchabhutasta matvangshe shrotradinam samubhapa. From this effect, the 5 gross elements, the Virat Deha, the universal body, is formed. Tatkaryam, from this effect, Cha Virat Deha, the gross body, is called the Virat Deha, the universal gross body. Stula Deho Yamatmanaha, which is formed, which is the gross body of the Supreme Soul. Now, all the 5 elements in existence comprise the gross body of the Supreme Soul, and that we call Mother Prakriti. She is the stuff of creation. She is all the Maya, the measurement of all existence, everything that can be measured. We cannot measure consciousness. We cannot measure all the existing particles of the universe. Well, maybe we can. Would someone like to volunteer to count them, please? Do we have any volunteers? Oh, thank you. And we have a message coming here. Somebody has volunteered to count all the elements in existence. Okay, so from this effect, Tatkaryam, Virat Deha, the universal body is formed, which is the gross body of the Supreme Soul. Stula Deho Yamat Manaha, Panchabhutastat Satvang Vishe. Srotradinang Samubhava. And from the Sattva Guna, the pure qualities of these 5 elements, Panchabhuta, Satvang Se, the Sattva aspect of the Panchabhut, the 5 elements, the ears, Srotra, Adinam Samudbaba, and the various organs of knowledge issue forth. So now you've got the Sattva And that gives you your hearing and your Gyanendriyas are born from sattva. Gyanendriyanam Rajendra, from the union of the Gyanendriyas, the 5 organs of knowledge. That is the eyes, the ears, the nose, the tongue, and the skin. Those are 5 organs of knowledge. Comes forth the antakaran prayekam vilate stute. Antakaranam ekam syad vritti vedar chatur vedam. The inner cause, the antakaran. Remember, the antakaran consists of man, buddhi, chitta, and ahamkar. These 4. Man, well, let's take buddhi first. Buddhi are all the nouns and verbs of your experience, all the knowledge that you have of objective fact. This is a book. Buddhi, man is their mind, all the subjective opinions that you have. This is a good book. Book is buddhi. Good is man. Chitta is all of it, all put together. This is a good book. Chitta, that is the stuff in your consciousness. And ahamkar, cogito ergo sum. I think, and therefore I am. This is a book, is a thought. Who is the thinker? Aham. I am the thinker. Man, buddhi, chitta, ahamkar, antakaran. Now, the inner cause, this antakaran, man, buddhi, chitta, it's comprised of mind, intelligence, recollection, and ego. And this inner cause is divided into 4 modifications according to its various functions. So the facts are called buddhi, the opinions are called man, all of it put together is called chitta, distinguished from chit. Chit is consciousness. Chitta are the objects of consciousness, the stuff of which we are aware. All of it gives birth to aham. The 4 modifications, yadatu sankalpa krityam, tadababed tanma itcha bhikyam, syad buddhi sangyam cha yada praveti, Sunishchitang Sanshaya Hinarupam. When engaged in forming sankalpas, definitions, a firm determination, or a definition of an objective, a positive affirmation, and vikalpas, doubts, value judgments, it is known as the mind, or subjective knowledge. When it contemplates objective knowledge free from doubt, it is called buddhi, intellect, or objective knowledge. When it arrives at a decisive conclusion free from all hesitation, nasanshaya, anusandhana rupang tat chitang chaparikirtitam, ahang prityatma vrityatsu. Chitta, the objects of consciousness, it is both subjective and objective knowledge. It is called chitta when we put together both the subjective and the objective knowledge. It is called chittang with 2 T's. And when its modifications make it contemplate, I am the doer. It is called ahamkar, ego, the sense of I. Now, ego is the sense of I is different from egotist, which is how great I am. Aham means that there must be a tvam. That means there must be vyakti. There must be separation. There must be vivek. There must be understanding and discrimination, and I am separate from you. Whereas ahamkar, I am the great egotist. And Garv Karton, I'm proud. I am egotist. I wish I had a longer arm. I could pat myself more conveniently on the back. That is ahamkar, which is different from aham. Having an ego, every vyakti has aham. But every aham is not a great egotist. Our goal is to expand our little Mohishashura, the great ego, and make him bigger and bigger until he becomes Maha Shiva Aham. I am Shiva. Aham Brahmashmi. I am one with the infinite divinity. Here we should pause for this session. Om Sam Saraswati Namaha. I believe Himalayas is getting a beautiful lesson on the distinction between having an ego and being separate, and having a body comprised of 5 elements and still being without a big egotistical involvement, without praising yourself. Himalayas is saying, I exist. A mother is teaching him, we all exist, but we don't have to be egotistical about it. We can exist without ego, without being egotist. Om Sam Saraswati Namaha. Let me show you a little bit around the temple. If I can stand up, I'm going to remove this, if we can. And let's take this and put it here. Oh, my goodness gracious me. Here, you hold this for a minute. No, it's facing out. Get your... It face away from me. Om Sam Saraswati Namaha. And this is Napeshwar Mahadev, who came to Nasik, and he became one in Goti, and now he's got his friends with him. And Hanuman came, and Shiva's here from Mama's room, and there's Ganesh, and this is the temple. And there is Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati. Here we have Shiva and Parvati. How do we make this bigger? I think we go, oh my goodness, we go like that. And then you can see Shiva and Parvati. And now we're moving over to the main altar, which shows Mahakali and Durga and Saraswati, Aim, Ram, Claim, Chamundaya, Biche. And you can see we're still building altars and things like that, but we have enough space all around the temple, and we have doors on 3 sides, and we have plenty of air. And here's Shiva from this side, and outside there's a gazebo, and There's a Yegya Kund, and then there's the path down to the river and the lake. And we move outside. And there where Shiva stood now stands another Hawan Kund. And here is the lake and the mountains. And this is our garden, and we're just starting to get some vegetables and fruits. And there, I guess we're making a road around the temple so we can have drive-through blessings. And this is Moti. Hello, Moti. Say hello to all our friends all around the world. Hello. Hey, you're not saying hello. Oh, well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to perform the Arati now. Thank you very much for joining us. Everybody have a beautiful morning, noon, and night wherever you are. And we'll see you all tomorrow if we can.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Swamiji.
Swamiji. Namaste,
Namaste to you all.
Thank you,
Namaste.
Swamiji. Pranam.
So nice to see you all with us.